You were kidding me.
Okay, so really.
All right, so we got to get that together. Try to see how these eyes are looking. And then we both got both cameras are coming in from.
Yes, this one and this one.
Okay, that's cool.
Record?
Yeah. I mean, we can start it.
Okay, this one's recording. We're live.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was going live. Let me check it. See us live.
Center. You're scoot over a little because we have
Who,
to.
me?
Yeah, we have to center it. No, like scoot the other way because like this camera, we gotta move this camera. Center.
Yep, the sound is working. Okay, cool.
So the sound is working from this one microphone.
Well, that was gonna use just the computer mic because you can't do both.
Oh,
It
okay.
has to be just one.
Or maybe I
input,
can
so I'm
hold
doing
it.
it for the
Do you want me
recording.
to just hold it?
No, you are not we done with that. All this holding stuff now. I didn't paid enough money that we don't have to hold. Other than that, other than those microphones, you don't have to hold anything else. This show is actually going to air probably right before the Oscars, and that's in honor of. Writing on. So wait, okay, so I saw your IMDb.
Yeah,
Are we
she's
still
telling
up?
me to update that a little bit.
Yeah, because I saw it's so complicated.
Oh yeah,
That's from 2016. That's the last. That was the latest thing that I saw. Okay.
independent, so it started here. I was working with a guy. Yeah.
Where'd you do it from? You do it from somebody's house?
Yeah, we were on
Back
location.
on. Like
It's not picking up that camera.
it was just back on for a second. You gotta switch it. You switched it to camera.
black and gold. And then, yes, come prepared. Listen, when you deal with me, come prepared, please. Yes, we coming. We coming. Hold on. Yeah, the camera is working. Okay, so that's for the live, and this is going to be for what? So we might as well start this. So this is not recording right now, the V.
It says it's not.
Well, I'm looking, it says press record.
Yeah, it's not recording.
So you need to come over from the other side, maybe other side, and do that. Por favor. Not as
Make
easy.
sure the V. Did you get the audio set up?
Yes.
So the microphones are together.
Okay.
You have to open the Focusrite Studio on the computer.
So I'm not going to even ask what y'all been doing in here for the last 40 minutes. It's not as easy as what, it's not as easy. Which is, this is the technical part. See, I'm the creative part, right? Just let me, yeah, it's moving. Something's
All right,
moving.
then make sure you switch it on.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That.
Something's not.
Make sure it's on Focusrite.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here. Sorry. I'm putting it on here. This
Well, we
is,
got the extraordinary. We got the man here with us.
that's well. Why is it not? You see how?
Hit the other mic. Well, I guess the other mic just going to your computer, right?
No,
it's
no. This
Woo!
one's in the middle.
Woo! It's not jumping like it should be. Oh, maybe I need it.
Monitor.
Maybe this is in the middle. So something in the middle.
Oh, make sure
Oh, press the two. Press the two button.
48V
The one that says
on
two.
the red box.
There we
is
go.
turned on.
And the 48V. Yeah, look.
48V. Turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's green, it's turned on,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Green is go.
Green is on.
All right.
You
There
turn.
we go. Wait,
Okay.
no, something
Press it again. If you press it, does it turn red or does it turn off?
It just turns off. It just turns like white.
Okay, yeah, turn it back to green.
Okay.
Okay, so that green is good. And now it's test.
It looks like it's moving.
Does it look like it's moving?
It's, but,
It's not a lot.
because if I'm hitting this,
Here, what about
it
this?
should definitely be jumping.
If I twist
Like,
it
hit
more,
like that, it should jump.
I'm twisting it more. Here.
Okay, so this is
Volume,
That's some
yeah,
shit.
like the volume for the mic.
That's something.
Volume
Try
for
that.
the mic, so it's like output.
The red-
No, it's input.
Damn.
Let me see about. It's like on the bottom left side. Yeah, like 1 and 2.
Yes, they're like really. They're not that green though. They're supposed to be really green.
Yeah, turn them.
Yeah.
They won't turn them too high.
hello.
Is it?
I did my hair.
Is it moving up now that you turned them up?
Try it. No.
It's not reading from here at all.
Don't you turn it up too high. I mean, we don't. That's gonna be crazy if you make it work.
Now they're white. White isn't good, right? Okay, they're green. Now there's something going on. Okay, here, the wires.
It's not connected
Okay,
right.
just test the
All right, well we got time.
sound, sweetie.
It's only a 30-minute show, and this is where we have editing and all these things.
Okay.
And we've got, like I said, we got a filmmaker here who I saw you've been the director, the editor, the writer, the candlestick maker, the
Everything.
baker. So I know we got the right person today.
All right. Did you hit that button before?
No.
Oh, I don't need for it. Oh. It's okay. It's all good. It is all good.
I hit both buttons trying to.
It's like it's saying Bluetooth. What is a Bluetooth connection?
It's kind of jumping. I see it jumping.
But it would. If
It's
you
supposed to
doing
be-
that,
it should be
like
bam!
Spike.
Like almost hitting it red or something like it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like the RPMs on a car.
Exactly. What's that so like?
Auto? Try
And where is this going into? So it comes from here, back out of here, into, I might hit a button on the top. You might have pressed one maybe.
I think they're moving. Okay, we got, I saw it. It's something, it did. I'm telling you.
That's off. No.
Now that's off. Oh no, did you see how I just went?
She cutting it off and on.
Oh.
Is that again? That's
No,
off.
it's not.
Check,
It's off.
check.
No, it's off.
Okay, auto. No auto.
No auto. Okay, no auto.
Turn that.
Yeah, it's moving. Oh, they didn't give us that big a spike.
It's maybe safe.
No.
What does safe mean?
I don't know what safe means.
Is the Insta turned on?
The Insta.
So why don't we do
Like
this?
INS?
We gonna just go forward. Okay, let's just go because
Oh yeah, Insta's turned on.
all right. Okay, so you should be able to see us on. Let's go. Let's go. And let's take down this we can just minimize this.
Yeah, it's been recording for
Oh, I
5
don't know if you
minutes.
should I don't think you should have turned it off. I think you should have, it needs to be on. There, right. Okay, all right, just minimize it. All right, let's just,
Speaker.
what you mean?
What would that be? Speaker input, output. It might have to adjust that on the actual computer. Like,
And why is this so far away?
Oh, it's supposed to be close here?
go to like your
Yes.
sound settings.
Okay, so that means you guys have to be close.
Yes.
Bring it into your sound settings.
Camera, desktop with your sound recorder, would that be it?
Sound.
Sound.
Just focus on that, not me, please.
Sound settings, yes. Speakers, 2, audio USB. Wait, hold on. Woo.
Those are mics.
What I'm doing.
Input, yes. And then you want the 2 analog one.
Yeah, see what that is.
Yeah. Here's the sound. Yes.
Okay, well, I can't see the other option. Microphone.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
USB.
Oh, that's why.
Maybe.
No. Look, it's on focus, right?
Okay. The volume is up.
Yes, the volume is on. You want 100%, right?
That's not.
You mean
It still should be the input.
That's good. Okay.
Microphone, right. Put that. Wait a minute.
focus, right?
My dread does still look good.
Oh wait, huh?
Wait, let's do that on. Somebody say
Hello?
What's the arrow next to the on the right? Go back to the other screen. That the arrow that go to the side, go up to where it say analog here. Another switch in there.
Woo! Woo!
I plugged in what
Yes, 2 channels, 24 bits, and then 48,000 hertz.
Okay. So I want to get started.
Can you hear us
But
good
if
though?
you can't hear.
I can hear on the line here.
Oh, you can hear it through the computer.
You can hear it on live?
It's working. Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay.
And then make sure you switch the output for the speakers to the main.
Well, this is the
Can't even hear anything.
pre-production.
So you gotta switch the speaker on the low down in the right corner of the computer. And then switch it to turn on? Yeah. If it's green, it's turn on, right? Yeah, that's right. Green is go.
Oh, that's good.
So it was pretty good. It was all going.
Okay. Export video. Video. Camera. Sound speaker. Put this right. And the camera.
Okay. I think we made it. So let's get started. I am Dion Webster Cox. This is Protect the P. And today my guest is Randy Halloway. Halloway.
Sorry.
I want it to be Halloway.
Right.
but so they can cut this out. So hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us with Protect the P. My name is Dion Webster Cox. I am the creator, the developer, pop maker, candlestick maker, the baker, and I've got other people here. So, but my guest today is Randy Halloway.
Yes.
Who has graced me with his presence because he is a filmmaker, an editor, a writer, a director. I saw your credits, and I hope you came prepared to tell me what your P is and how you protect it and why you protect it, because that is major. That is key. So with that being the case, I know there's some things that I may have. You want to give a short introduction as to who you are, sir? And so first of all, this is our Oscar episode, and I wanted to come in my Oscar finest. Mr. Halloway did not get the memo because that's what the plan was. We try to get, so we are going live on StreamYard, but this is actually being taped through Veep so that we can have this ready for Oscar. So I thought, why not sort of Cleopatra look or sort of the Indian, or
Very
is that
nice.
I know, right? I know. So here we are. Thank you very much for coming, and tell me more. Impress me. You know, I'm interviewing. I think I realized, I said, maybe I'm using this as a platform, as my platform.
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm always honored to share my story with people who are interested in what I do. I have been in entertainment almost 30 years now. And I actually started out, which is funny, I used to work for Chrysler. I was working on the line, and I was going to the movies a lot. And I would go to the movies maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And I would start to tell people about the movie. I'd see the same movie over and over. And it was because I was going on different dates and stuff at first, right? Different dates. And
dates as in with another person.
Yeah.
Okay, and you would take a different lady to the same movie.
Yeah. And so
you were just a player. Was that the P you were trying to protect the player?
Back then, a long time ago.
Okay, well, we all changed. Okay.
But I started telling about the movies, and people were like, "Man, that's pretty good." And more people started asking me, so I got tired of talking, because Chrysler at the time running 3 shifts. That's when everything was booming. Telling 3,000 people about the movie, talking over and over, my voice would get tired. So I said, let me start writing these movie reviews. So I started writing movie reviews, and they were really good. And I was actually studying engineering at the time. And people started telling me, like, man, you need to turn these into your school paper. So these little movie reviews that I wrote up, I would go on my lunch break. It'd be 20-minute lunch break. I would pass them out during that time, but it'd be a 10-minute break. I would write up the movie reviews in those 10 minutes. And I turned them into my school paper. School paper hired me. I end up reviewing a movie, Billy Elliot, which is probably one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
You talking about?
So, no, Billy Elliot was a movie about the miners' strike in Ireland. I think whenever that strike was, a big strike. It was based on that time. And a young boy, he had an Irish father. His father was trying to put him in boxing class. He was going to boxing, but he was getting beat up a lot. He didn't really like it. And they had like a ballet class at the same time. It was like in like a community center. And so the boy started seeing the ballet, and he started going to that while his father thought he was going
Oh, his daddy was
boxing.
mad. His daddy was mad about
Irish
that.
minor, like he was pissed.
Right?
But the boy got very, very good. And I want to say, I think Juilliard was the school he ended up going to, became a great dancer. It's one of the best movies I ever saw in my life. And at that screening, me being a young black boy with these credentials, these press
Well, you weren't no
credentials,
young black boy. You was what? You was in your 20s?
I was like about 20, about maybe 23 at the time.
So what is this? 93? I think we were about the same age.
Yeah. So
Okay, got it.
I came out with this compared to everybody else that was there, because I'm there with the Detroit News, all these big time movie critics. But this lady saw me with these press credentials, and again, being a young black guy, she's like, "Where you get that from?
Right.
Like, who gave you that?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, in my mind, I'm like, "Why are you stopping me out of all these people?" But I'm like, "Oh no, I write for my school paper." And that lady took me under her wing. Turns out she worked for Warner Brothers.
Oh wow!
And from that point, I became like this screen. It was like one thing led to another. She turned me on to this gentleman with this magazine. I started writing for the magazine. They loved my work. He turned me on to Columbia Pictures, and I became like Columbia Pictures screening representative for here.
And you were still working for
And I'm still
Chrysler?
working for Chrysler.
So okay, I want to stop. So this was 30 years ago, so hopefully you feel comfortable talking about it. So how much did they pay you to do that?
At the time, it was no pay.
Okay, so you're like an intern.
Well, oh, you mean Columbia?
Yeah.
I forgot how much Columbia paid. I thought you meant for the school paper stuff. Columbia, I forgot how much it was then. Maybe $250 a show, a screening, or something like that.
So that was decent money back in '93. That was something that you could take a few more ladies out.
Yeah, I did. But it was a lot of perks to it, because I got to be around a lot of celebrities, and start seeing all the movies ahead of time. And I would, because they would send me the assignment like, "Hey, we got this movie coming out. We got Uncle Cracker coming. We got Jaheim coming." And we working with WJLB giving out the passes, but I would make additional passes to bring everybody from Chrysler.
Oh,
And so,
they really appreciated that.
Well, at first they didn't know what was happening, because they was only renting out small theaters, because it costs money to rent out the theaters.
Right.
So they would rent out 180 seat theater, but I would have 1,000 people show up, and they couldn't figure out like, how are all these people coming? But eventually they figured out I was bringing more people. And they were like, "Listen, you got to let us know, because the money, we can't just do it like that."
That's right. That's
you
right.
getting this promotion out, so it was a good thing for that.
Protect the promotion,
Yes.
protect the profit, because that was going into the expenses,
Yes.
and they had to pay so much in marketing. And can I just ask you this on the side?
Mhm.
Before a movie came out, did they just start advertising about the movie the day of?
No.
How far in advance would they start to advertise? Can you pray tell?
It depends. A lot of times it depends on the budget. Hollywood, like Wicked, they've been promoting that maybe for like I'd say about 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
So we don't start the day of to promote a show. We don't do that. That's just common sense.
Yeah.
But go back. You are bringing in 1,000 people to this small theater, and they're saying, "Hey, just let us know how much."
Mm-hmm. Like how many people are coming, and those were a huge success. But from there, by me setting those up, doing my interviews, eventually I started. The doors started opening up in entertainment, because, like I tell you, I was studying engineer. I was getting straight A's, physics, calculus, all that stuff.
So you're just a savant.
I think.
Autistic. What would you call? Were you on the spectrum? You know what I'm saying? But you sound very smart to me.
ADHD,
Okay, so
I do.
You got some stuff going on,
Yeah.
but you were able to balance.
I wasn't never diagnosed with it,
but you had something going on with you.
You can't
Right.
focus on nothing.
But you were successful.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Successful. Yeah.
Sometimes we want to put labels, but I think people have called me crazy all my life. But crazy, look around in my office.
Oh yeah.
This is crazy what crazy do. Okay, so I'm saying to say let's normalize what this is. We are the ones that are willing to take chances when other people won't. When other people are too afraid to get out of their bed, we get out there and make it happen. And that's my point. Yep. So that's okay if you was on this autistic scale or spectrum or whatever you had. Because guess where you are? You were able to meet people and make things happen.
And that was just the very beginning. And when I was working, by me doing that stuff, maybe even right before that, the first person I interviewed was Adam Sandler. And I was a huge, huge fan of Adam Sandler. And I'll never forget, I was at Chrysler and I got the call from my school. They said, hey, we got something for you. Adam Sandler. I said, cool, where you at? He's in Chicago. I'm like, what? And they're like, you have to go this day. And I had to work. And I was I think I had just became full-time at Chrysler. So
You had to make a decision.
I had to make a decision. But here it was. People saw my work ethic. They knew who I was. They knew I wasn't one of them idiots running around the plant, living for plant life.
Mm.
And my area manager, at the time I went to him, Patrick Sauer was his name. And I said, Patrick, I have an opportunity. I have to go interview Adam Sandler.
And he told you yes. He said, go ahead and do it.
Not only say, yeah. I'm sorry, Patrick, if it's long enough and Chrysler's no longer around, so we should be good. Now it's Stellantis. So the old Chrysler's gone.
Okay, so listen. Did you sign any type of NDA?
No.
Okay, this is the attorney in me coming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then you're fine. And then if it's been 30 years ago, that's over and done with. I'm going to represent you if they come after you.
No,
Okay.
I'm half joking in that.
Okay,
But I went to him and said, hey, this is what I need to do. He said, no problem. Come in, punch in, go to the job, whatever you got to do. And whatever time you got to leave, go out the back door and fly to Chicago, spend a day with him, and come back through that back door and leave out the front. That was the first time I did an interview of that.
Oh, you're talking about time card fraud is what you committed.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Oh, I am not
With
for
permission.
stealing. With
Yeah.
permission. So that was
With permission.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
A conspiracy, but it was to help you, further you, and a choice had to be made.
And a choice had to be made.
At the expense of Chrysler. Okay, okay. Well, so we have to just thank Chrysler.
Yeah.
Because they paid you for that day.
Listen, Chrysler.
Thank you, Chrysler.
No, I always give credit to Chrysler because another story, as I was saying, I was studying engineering. I was like 4 classes away from graduating with an engineering degree. I gave that all up.
4 classes?
I gave it all up to go back for film and TV.
Okay,
right?
All right.
So, but Chrysler, because it started, I went to Specs Howard. That's why first I was at Wayne State for engineering, but I went to Specs Howard because at that time it was like that was the thing to do.
Oh, I know. It was right there on Evergreen and
Yep.
9 Mile. I know. I've got a Specs Howard story, and you could go for what, 6 months or a year or so.
12. Yeah. It's
and
like
pay
8 months.
$6,000 or something like that. Whatever
Like
it was.
$12,000 for 8.
That's
8
it.
months is what it was, or 12, or a little bit more if you did double classes. But Chrysler paid for all of that. And
thank you, Chrysler.
But here's a story that I do want to share because I'm forever like indebted to Chrysler for what they did for me in my career. But they had stopped paying for classes at that. Like if it didn't end up in a 4-year degree, they would stop paying for it because I had took like radio, I had took like massage class, all that. They had paid for all that, but then they stopped. And so when I applied for Specs Howard, I forgot the lady who I was talking to at the center that you had to call to get them to pay for. And she was like, okay, just submit the paperwork. I submitted. They came back maybe a month or so later, and they were like, I'm sorry, we don't pay for this no more. We got to end the degree. I said, oh, man. She was like, but let me see what I can do. Don't give up. Just keep calling me and check. I started calling her every day. I was always nice, though.
Of course.
I never got frustrated. I was down because it's something I really wanted to do. I said, man, I waited too long. I missed it. And I called her and I said, hey, I'm sorry. I was just calling. You got any ideas of what happened? Like, no, we still meeting. Just give it a second. She stopped answering every day. I started, and she started picking up maybe twice a week. It was a process.
Protect the process.
And then she stopped picking up a couple times a week. Then I started calling. She picked up once a week. And then I start calling. She stopped picking up at all. And I said, man. And this probably was started maybe like June, July. I forgot what year, but the class started in January. And so,
so you were out since 6 months prior.
I had to try, so I kept calling, and then finally, I just let it go.
December 24th, you got the call.
No, it was probably it was in January, like right after the class.
Right after it started.
Right after it started, she called me. She said, Mr. Holloway. I said, yes. She said, okay. She said, I thank you so much for your patience. She said, I have the news for you. We finally met. I said, okay. I said, y'all can't do it. She said, no, we can do it. She said, here's the kicker. We're only doing this for you. She said thousands of people have submitted their applications, but everybody called, was nasty, was angry. She said, you never got upset. You never raised your voice. You was always polite. You was always so kind. And everybody here recognized that. And so for you and you only, we're going to send you through and pay for it. She said, don't tell nobody. I said, I won't tell nobody.
Oh my,
So-
that's a wonderful story. And that's why I always tell, and that's why I always say, you can always say hello to somebody. You can always, there's no reason to be rude, especially if you're trying to get something. So what does it gain you to you asking me for something? What does it gain you to be mean to me? That you asking me for something?
Yep. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Like, and that changed my life, right?
Okay, so you go to Specs Howard,
Specs Howard. Mhm.
and then what happens?
I go to Specs Howard. I start taking classes there. Finished like top of the class, won every award. Before I graduated, that's when TV 20 News came calling. And they said, my teacher called me, the guy that was in charge of our group, he called me to the office and said, hey, Channel 20 want to hire you. And I'm like, what? I said, I never filled out. I said, who sent the application? I never. They said, I don't know. They noticed, wherever they noticed you from somebody, nobody said who, how they found out about me. And they brought me into TV 20. And Sarah Norad Phillips was the GM at the time. And she had me intern. I was the intern for 2 weeks, and she made me a producer after that. And
now how much? I'm asking these questions because I was a producer at WXYT, 1270 AM. So tell me this: how much was a producer making back then?
What was I? It wasn't a lot.
I know that. I'm just trying to figure out what was it between TV and radio. I was making maybe $7 an hour, and then he bumped me up to $10 an hour.
Yeah, I was like 14.
Okay.
15.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm new, right? And it's funny, I never forget. I wanted to be on air.
Okay.
But I was just a writer, producer, right? And multimedia journalist. She wasn't allowing me I wasn't supposed to be on air. But I forgot what story it was. It's something downtown. I said, I'm about to do a report on air. Because they left me in the studio and I had to
devices.
Yep. And when I went out for that story, I jumped on camera, came back, and I put it up on air. And the next day she called me to the office.
Did you still have a job?
Oh yeah.
Okay, very good.
But and it was funny because we sat down, she's like, close the door, I closed the door. She said, in this business, like I'm in charge, right? And nothing ever goes out on my air without me knowing. And don't you ever do that again. She said, don't ever do that again. And I said, okay, I'm sorry. Then she started smiling. She's like, but I love your ambition.
Absolutely.
I said, okay.
You appreciate a person who can think. You appreciate somebody who's willing, because it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask permission. If you'd asked permission, she would have said no.
She would have said no.
So sometimes you got to just take chances, right?
Sometimes you have to take
chances.
chances.
I'm so wondering. It's a wonderful story.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take chances.
Okay, so you were at Channel 20. How long did you stay there?
Oh man, maybe I probably was a year and a half, maybe 2 years at TV 20. Yeah. And what happened there?
And then you were done with Chrysler. Did you leave?
No,
Chrysler?
I was still at Chrysler.
So you were doing double shift.
It was Chrysler. I was there, and I was doing one other thing. What else?
Selling Shackley. Multi-marketing.
No.
That was big in the 90s.
People, they was coming at me with that. Like, please tell me, you be everywhere. I'm like, I don't really like doing that. But no, I think, at the time, Black Cinema Cafe, I was doing that too. And Black Cinema Cafe was a precursor to the American Black Film Festival that you see now. And they used to rent out venues, not even movie theaters, venues once a month to screen Black movies because they weren't showing Black independent films anywhere back then. Right. You really had to scratch and claw to get your stuff out compared to how it is now, right?
Yeah. No, I think they probably still scratching the claw. So right now I think you can put your stuff on Tubi, but you have to pay for it.
No.
You don't have to pay?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that.
It's a whole different ball game. Now it's night and day. And Tubi, the effect that Tubi has changed Hollywood forever. And I was trying to tell people this years ago, and people didn't believe me. And now they see. But now it didn't hit that. I won't say plateau, but it's just at the point where so many people doing it now. The opportunities isn't as great as it was before for you to have your stuff really, go. Like anytime anybody put something up, no matter what it was, it went crazy. Now it has to be a certain level for people to even notice it or take certain notice of it. They're more critical now than they were when it first started. But
Okay, so
back then you couldn't even.
wait a minute. You had a Tubi back then, back in the 90s?
No.
Okay.
There's Black Cinema Cafe.
Okay, so Black Cinema Cafe, you were allowed to bring your movie.
No. You would submit the movie to the headquarters or the people in charge. They would pick what movie they wanted to screen for the month. And so once a month they rent out a venue and they have people come out and watch the movie and talk about it. And that would be it. And that started, like I said, the American Black Film Festival. We kicked off in Acapulco, but now I think they're down in Miami now.
Really? Did you go?
Yeah. I've never been to one of the Black Film Festivals. I've never had an opportunity to go. I've submitted some things to some festivals, won a couple things for writing, producing, but I've never been to the American Black Film Festival. I always say I'm a go, but it's usually something happening where I can't take off. Like, oh man, like I can't miss it. I'm gonna miss it or I can't go. Oh, I'll take it back. I went to one in New York. I did do that. I'm sorry. What is in New York? And met Charles Dutton and Spike Lee.
Okay.
So that was cool. I forgot about that.
Okay. So now you are at Channel 20. You are Black Cinema Cafe
and Chrysler.
And a third thing that we don't quite remember.
Well, it was those three things, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it was those three things.
And then what was next? How did that go?
And
Tell me
then so while I'm at TV 20, one of the people who has been a tremendous beacon of light in my life, and especially with what I do, out in California, marketing company out there, he reaches out to TV 20 and says, hey, I need somebody that really loves movies. I need them to interview some folks.
Well, that's you.
That was me. And so you got an email back. This guy, Randy Halloway, is a great guy. You should talk to him. He talked to me, and the rest was history. Next thing I knew, I'm flying all over the country, interviewing all these celebrities. The Will Smiths, the Chadwick Boseman, the Michael B. Jordans, the Brad Pitts.
Okay, now I gotta ask you, did you ever go to a Diddy party?
I've never been to it.
You didn't get to play in the Ranger game?
In fact, people always told me, they always told me, like, I'm good where I am. Like, even coming out the holiday, they say, you don't need to be out here in Hollywood. Like, where you are with your talent, with what you're able to do, stay where you are. You'll be a big fish in a small pond. You come out to Hollywood, it's too busy. Everybody's out here. They're good. They're vying for the same thing. We've never seen nobody with your level of work in Detroit. Stay there and then corner that market, and you will have a line to us. So, and they always said, you come out here, it's parties, it's things you have to do, you don't want to do. I've got all kind of warnings from a lot of people.
Okay.
Telling me about what goes on, what happens. A lot of stuff happened here. If
I would imagine so.
Yeah, a lot of things go on here. Not as frequent as wild as that level, but
it happens. It happens anywhere. Because what happens? There is a person who wants something so bad they're willing to do whatever they got to do with whoever they got to do. Now, and I don't have a problem with that. My problem comes in when you want to come back 30 years later and say this person was a big bad wolf.
Yeah,
that is a problem.
Yep.
Not when you willingly did it. Not when you willingly did it. If you willingly did it, no.
Yeah. That's what I say. So I started doing that, and I was still at Chrysler. I ended up leaving Chrysler in like 2009.
Really?
Yeah.
But you left with I was gonna say you had left with a buyout.
Yeah, took the buyout, and first thing from there was I started working with like American Idol. I would work with shows that came into town, and I started working with these American Idol. So You Think You Can Dance, Bar Rescue. I worked with a lot of shows, and in doing that, I would position myself because people always saw my work ethic. Every job I ever worked, I got promoted. Even out of that Chrysler, I started writing the movie reviews. They took me off the line. I was the editor of the paper, and writing speeches for the plant manager, union president.
Nice.
Yeah, I've always been a great writer. And the writing started when I was in high school. I was like Cyrano de Bergerac. I was writing love letters for people to get at
Oh,
girls and stuff. So I've always been a great writer.
yes.
And I just honed my skills and got better and better as the years went by. And I got it, like I was a Sundance Screenwriting Fellow, New York Foundation Arts Fellow. So I'm very, very good at writing. But
Thank you, Brittany. I have to give thanks when thanks is due, because it was my niece, blood of my blood, who told me about you. Okay, so you have been redeemed and you can stay. You can stay. I'm just joking. She can stay anyways, but I'm just saying it's a wonderful. I'm so happy to have met you. That's why I'm interrupting. I'm so happy to have met you.
No, it's fine, and I appreciate that. I'm honored to be here. As I'm working for all these shows, I'm seeing how they're operating.
You see the process. You see what it takes. You see the steps.
Mm-hmm. And so, as I'm doing this thing again, my work ethic was so good. I would come in with all my friends or whatever at the PA at the time just studying, but I would always end up with the executive producers, and they would take me under their wing and say, "Hey, we see what you're working. You know what? Especially one time, like, so you think you can dance?" They seeing me work, like, "Hey." End of the day, everybody getting to go home. They like, "Hey, come here for a minute." I'm like, "What's going on? We really like what you're doing. You want to go to dinner with Paul Abdul?" I'm like, "What? Of course I do." They're like, "Okay, Paul Abdul and Jason Derulo, we want you to come back. You're going to go out to dinner with them." And I had an opportunity to do that. But as I'm doing this stuff, I'm looking at how this process go. And I said, you know what? I can do this. I can make my own shows.
Yeah.
And because as I'm watching, I'm learning that's where the money's at, right?
Is it in the distribution? It's in you've got to be in the creative part, right?
Yeah,
because you've got to be the person who's willing to put the money up, because then at that point, that's when you get to sell your idea.
Yeah.
And you got to pay your people. That's part of your expense or cost of the show.
Yeah. And so me and a partner of mine at the time, Shayna Ortiz, I met her on another project. She just happened to come in. I liked her organization and stuff she was doing at the time. And I said, hey, you want to work with me? We can do some stuff. She's like, cool, yeah, let's go. So we created our company, our Arte Productions company. And we put together this sizzle reel for a pilot for this show based off the resale store that's up the street.
What, up the street? What street? Up
Southfield.
The one on South on 10 Mile?
12 Mile.
Right on the corner.
Yeah.
That's been there for years.
Yeah. So we went and got permission from the board of directors, told them what we wanted to do, and we put together this show. And
based on what was the thought process? People coming in, why they come in?
Yeah, that's coming in with trying to put together outfits to go out, right? And they would put them together in the resales.
Oh, and how you can put together something for a real reasonable price.
Yep. And so put that together. I edited, had it all together. It was nice. And I ended up going out to LA. I forgot who I went out there working with another guy that actually is the reason me and Shayna even formed the company, was because this other guy, Jason Zulueta. And so I was out in LA, and we was at this club for this music thing we was doing with this group. And it was a guy at the club, and they was talking, and he said something about movies. I told him what I did. I showed him the sizzle reel. He said, man, who you show this to? I said, I ain't showed it to nobody. He said, I'm calling you tomorrow. I want you to come with me. And so I'm like, okay, cool. But it's LA. You got to watch all that kind of stuff.
Right, because you don't know who.
You never know who's who. Come to find out, I meet with this guy. That's when I learned about the 2 Beverly Hills. Because he was like, I live in Beverly Hills. But when I got there, I'm like, this Beverly Hills, it kind of looked like Detroit almost.
What do you mean Detroit? Detroit Palmer Woods, Detroit?
No,
Garden Park, Detroit, Boston Edison, Detroit, or Detroit Mac and Bewick? But
almost like Mac and Bewick-ish. Not that it was bad, but it just, I'm like, you think of Beverly Hills, you think of West Bloomfield. Right. And he said, oh no, it's 2 parts. Like this Beverly Hills, but this ain't the ritzy part of Beverly Hills. I said, oh, I didn't know that. But it was cool. So long story short, I met him there at his apartment. It was an apartment building. I'm like, it's so crazy. But
he could have owned that apartment building for all you know.
And and I asked, and he said no.
Okay.
But we went to the other part to meet this guy. And I'm like, And it was crazy because he was like, "Oh, come on in. We're gonna go in his house. He on his way." But the way we got into his house, he like reached around the gate and like unlocked it. I'm looking like, bro, we two black dudes in LA, Beverly Hills, whatever,
Wherever we are.
California, creeping on a dark street, Beverly Hills, these big houses. I'm like, dog, no, that's cool. Long story short, the guy ends up coming there. I forget his name. I know I got it back in my records or whatever. But at any rate, his family was the people that created like Gumby. And
Oh, really? Gumby from Eddie Murphy?
the original.
Oh, because Eddie Murphy did the green.
He did. Yeah, but you know that's based on the
Right,
cartoon.
that's right.
They was the ones behind the cartoon.
Oh, wow.
So they had ties with that. So they had loan money, all this stuff. And he saw my reel. And he was like, this is amazing. He said, this is great. And the only thing that stopped me from getting a deal at the time, because the girls that we had at the shop, he asked, he said, do they own this shop? I said, no, we just put them there. And he said, if they owned the shop, you would have had a deal right now. He said, but find me some girls that own a resale shop. And I couldn't find none at the time. So,
why did it have to be?
Because
I don't understand.
the money is in, it's not in the talent, it's in the property.
Right. So why not go to the owner and say, hey, would you be interested?
Because then you would have to, I'm only speculating, right? But if they don't, everything that's just like record companies to do like a 360 deal, everything is included. So if they own the shop, they can leverage that to say, we're going to make y'all famous and make y'all store blow up. So we have make y'all famous, but in making the store blow up, we want to take X amount of dollars from the amount of money that you're making out to the amount you grow. We want a percentage of the money that grows.
Right.
If they don't own it, they don't have no say in that.
But why not be able to contact the owners?
Because now you're dealing with too many entities. I would guess.
Okay.
They always told me, even when I went in with different companies, they're only dealing with one. So if me and you say, hey, let's make a show about something, and you got your company, I got my company, and we go in, they're not talking to your company and my company. They're going to talk to one company. And whatever we got, we have to work out.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
they try and keep it simple. So I'm only speculating on that part. But he never said why. He just said if they owned it, and they didn't.
Okay.
So just like when I went to WeTV and I had a couple of shows.
So wait a minute, did that drop it? That was the end of it?
Just for him.
Okay.
For him. And then like come back. Even no, because that always came up. It was like, hey, this is great. These girls own this. Like, no, they don't own it. So it kind of went sideways. But the only good thing about that project was they saw the level of my work.
Right.
And so they always thought, you know, we had a whole crew, like 50 people doing this stuff. Like, no, it really was me and a few other people.
With a handheld.
Yeah. And a lot of times I would just have them like, put the camera on your shoulder, stand here, and don't move. Aim it this way. I'm going to go over here and work this camera. All you got to do is make sure you get this. And they ain't really know how to work the cameras. They know how to work the sound.
Yeah.
So
I understand.
you know, put it together. And my editing skills were very, very good.
Okay.
And so at that particular time, it was like, man, do this. I had another guy. He was working with me. He knew the camera. But everybody else, it was always one of the things where it was, just stand here, aim this way, don't move. Like, and do the thing like that.
No stabilizers.
Right. No stabilizers at the time. So, but everything always came out good because once I got into editing, I could do what I needed to do. And make it pop.
So that one, now what happened next? Because I saw your resume. They don't call it resume. Your catalog.
IMDb. Yeah. And everything I've done, I have to put everything up there. There's so much stuff that's not up there. My resume is probably as long as this table. But
okay, what in 12 font or in 10 point and what font? In poster size?
No, probably I'd say 10 font. Let's say 11 to be fair.
Oh my gosh! So you're saying from here to here, and we were going like what, an inch? Are you serious? That's nice.
I've done.
You've been doing this for 30 years.
I've been doing a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff over there. A lot of stuff I forget about. Like, oh, I forgot I did that. But yeah. But it's always been learning. You know, I've every opportunity I've had, I've taken opportunity to learn. Right. Even to this day, producing, writing, directing these films, I'm learning something new every time. and I'm always open-minded to it.
So what is your latest project? Tell me that because I still want. You haven't told me which. I've got so many questions for you, but I'm gonna start here. What's your P?
I want to say performance.
Performance.
Yeah, because you perform, you perform right. No matter what you do, you're gonna get the results that you want. You may not get the answers you want, but the results will be there. Just like I talked about doing that first sizzle reel. I didn't get the deal.
Right, but you got the experience
I
and
got
the
the
content and the contacts,
And then kind of,
and you could and then you were professional. You could always probably go back if you had something else.
yes.
I'm also hearing your purpose,
Yeah.
and passion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get a couple of P's from you. So now you've done that. What I want to, we only have so much time, and it's going to be edited down and everything. And you're fascinating, absolutely
thank you.
fascinating. So here you are. You've got the scissor reel, the resale shop that's right there on the corner of 12 Mile and Southfield. That is still there.
Mhm.
What did you do after that?
Kept creating.
Okay.
And eventually, I worked on this movie. Me and my partner Eric Rhymes, and Shayna Ortiz. Eric Rhymes ended up coming aboard and working with us. And he always said I'm the only person he ever met that outworked him.
Okay.
As we was doing this movie, we got to the editing stages, and we were up against it. And he remembered, he always tell the story of how we was working around the clock. He fell asleep. When he woke up, I was still working. I hadn't been asleep probably for about 30-some hours. And
So it takes time to edit.
oh, it takes a lot of time.
So it's not just an hour thing. You've got to sit through, and you really do, because you're looking at that breath when stop it here and let's go, and trying to the transitions.
Yes, it takes so much effort to edit.
But that's the creativity part of it.
Yeah.
Now you create. Now you're putting it all. You're taking it raw.
Yeah.
And putting it together.
Yeah. Yep. And so I ended up doing this one sizzle reel with this lady, Crystal Banks.
Her name sounds familiar.
She's been everywhere. Yeah.
Who is she? Is she an actress or is she?
No, she bail bonds. She was bail bonds. Now she does workshops with the school. She's a vendor for the Detroit.
Crystal Banks. Her name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's been everywhere, and I've been with her like everywhere. But she had worked on this sizzle reel with this company from Canada, and I ended up meeting her out through another guy just by chance because they saw what I did. Like, hey, we want you to meet this lady. She got a sizzle reel, but it wasn't going anywhere. And when she showed it to me, the original reel, I told her a whole bunch of stuff, and she said that's exactly what the network said of why it didn't work. Because again, I saw enough,
Right.
knew enough. I always tell people I may not know everything of what to do, but I've been told no so many times. I know everything of what not to do.
Right.
So when I saw her reel, I said I can do that better. And she said, okay, like let's do it. And so I did it. Put it all together. We shot it. That reel changed everything. When I started showing people that reel, all kind of doors opened up. And we was able to pitch it to Lionsgate, they were pitching on WeTV. I made it up the chain at A&E in like 2 days. And they said that never happens. And I talked to the president of A&E, and she was like, we love it, but we can't do a deal. They said, we just did a bail bond show with this lady in New York, and it bombed. She said, we wish we had seen yours first. She said, and I can't go to the board and ask for more money for a show that just bombed. She said, but your work is so good, you always got a relationship with us. You can call me whenever you got something. We ain't got to go through no other company. We work directly with you. So that was a huge blessing.
Yeah, it's a huge blessing.
So
So she didn't necessarily get what she wanted, but you were able to make connections.
able to make connections. She was able to like that sizzle reel, that thing we had, it jump started her into what she's doing now. She ended up writing a book, and the book blew up and got her in the schools. It was all kind of stuff.
Really?
Like, that was like
Promotion.
yeah.
So you are public relations.
Yeah, I've always said I wanted to get into that a little bit more because I've done so much stuff for people behind the scenes. Never. A lot of people don't give me credit for it. Once they get that
Well, I'm gonna give you credit.
they go.
I'm giving you credit.
Oh,
Randy
thank you.
Halloway is wait. I'm gonna give you credit if I don't get your name right. Okay, I'm gonna be nicer to you next time.
It's okay.
Halloway.
Yes.
That's a running joke. I said the next time I get married, I'm gonna be nicer to her. That was my joke. That's my daughter. She's not finding it very funny. So I'm gonna be nicer. Halloway.
Yes.
Halloway.
Yep.
Okay, so you are the person that makes things happen for other people. That's part of your gift. And as a result, things happen for you. You're truly in the service industry.
Yeah.
I see you as a service.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I get yelled at a lot. People like, you doing too much for people. You ain't even getting nothing out of it. But I am getting something.
You do get something out of it.
And I love helping people. People call me, and no matter how busy I am, how tied up I am, if I can do it, I will do it. And a lot of times, people are asking, I say, yeah, but I have so much other stuff I said, yeah, too. I'm trying to knock them out one by one. But I truly do love helping people and helping people make their dreams come true. I get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Tell me, I want to hear some movies. I know it's so complicated. That was 2016.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing on your IL.
No, it's more. They got, for whatever reason, I got like 3 different IMDb's.
Oh, okay. Well, the one that
Yeah.
Brittany sent me, that's the last thing. So I need to hear what I want to hear. I want to hear movies. I want to hear it all. I'm interested.
So
because I'm thinking in my mind, how can you help me? And I'm thinking,
so
it's working.
I have 3 movies in post production right now.
Okay.
So it's been a very busy year and a half. I've done a lot of movies. So it's 3 in post production right
in Detroit, or you traveled to
Detroit, Atlanta, Ohio, Arizona, Chicago. I've been around.
Are they dope movies? Dope boy movies? Are they love stories? Are they psycho women stories?
2 of them are kind of dope boy movies, but not really, because I'm trying to create something different.
Okay.
There's plenty of those stories out there.
A lot of dope boy movies.
There's plenty of those stories out there. One movie that's getting ready to be a premiere. We don't have the date yet. It's called True Colors.
Okay.
And it stars G-Rock from Street Lord fame.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of stars in it. Jasmine Renee. She's on Bad Girls Club now, Baddies West or whatever it is. All right. Everybody don't
was she able? No, was she able to? So she listened. So that was truly just an action. Her and Baddies.
She's in there. She just got the new season now, but that's cool because that for the movie. Listen, people will watch that. They'll know she in the movie. So
okay, no. So you got it for her for
but
her audience.
That, she wasn't nowhere near that when we filmed this movie, but she was like on her acting. She knew her lines. She was on top of it.
Okay, like, she's a method actor.
She was on it. She
knew really? It. Okay, so then she was able to adapt. She was in character.
Yeah. So
now, did you have her in a damn G-string and shit? Wait, what were you doing? What did she have to do?
No. So the story is a guy like G-Rock plays this drug kingpin is ready to get out of the game.
Okay.
And he got his 2 nephews that always looked up to him growing up. And now they want to get into it. Like, hey, it's been a family business, right? So him and his sister, they had a father. Father was the man. Mm-hmm. Brought them, tried, bring the sister, brother up into it.
Into the dope game.
To the dope game.
Why do that to your kids though? Why do that to them? Okay, that's just my own personal thing.
That's
go
society.
Ahead. That is okay.
Right.
All right.
And so the nephews want to get into it, but the sister kind of strayed away from it. Like she got out of it. I don't want my kids into it. No, I'm not doing it. And G-Rock like, okay, y'all can't do it, your mama. But young boys gonna be boys. We want it. So they end up getting into it, and a whole lot of chicanery goes on behind the scenes, murder and all this kind of stuff. And
murder and mayhem.
Okay,
that's good. That sells.
But it's good with the music, banging. It's gonna do really, really well just because Street Lords, Cheddar Boys, they in a movie together. It's the first movie that we brought them.
These are the true groups of
Yeah, like the rap.
organizations?
Yeah, like the
Oh,
rap groups back in the
I
day.
don't know. Oh,
But there's a lot of
Sugar Boys.
history between. Yeah, there's a lot of history between it.
I did
You
not
got-
know.
Yeah, Lil Blade, like Lil Blade, Blade Icewood's son is in it. Wipeout son is good.
Okay,
Really,
so
really good.
are you releasing it on Tubi? Are you
It should be
on?
on. It should be on Tubi. But we'll see. I know it'll go on Tubi.
Okay.
And at this time, it probably out on Tubi now. Right.
What's the name again? What's the name?
True Colors.
True Colors. Are we writing that down somewhere? Somewhere.
True Colors.
Somebody.
Check it out, y'all. True Colors.
True Colors.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Now what's another one? Please not another. Okay, no,
No.
you said you got two dope boy movies.
No. So, well, one is already has been out.
Okay, what's the name of that?
It's All or Nothing.
It's All or Nothing.
Yeah, and that stars these guys out of Akron, Ohio, and Omar Gooding.
Omar Gooding's in it.
Yeah, Melvin Jackson Jr. is in it.
Oh,
From
okay.
The Wire, and he played Curtis Blow in the New Edition story. So they're in the movie, and that's about another father who owns this appliance store in the music business and trying to turn it over to his kids, but the kids is in the drugs and he's trying to get them out and get them on a narrow path, but they get mixed up in some stuff and almost get everybody killed. So it's one of those type of stop the violence type movies, but you have a little bit of drug activity going on in it.
You are the writer, the director.
I co-wrote that one, but directed and produced it. And It's All or Nothing wrote, directed, and one of the producers. And these new movies. One is called Sick Day. And it's about this young lady who was battling for fair wages for her job. And it ended up becoming a national crusade to raise the minimum wage for people.
Did she? Okay, so, so has she graduated from high schoul? Has she gone to college?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. She was let's say middle class, but well-to-do type. Like she wasn't just a low tier worker. She
lower
worked in
socioeconomic. She was not.
Right.
So then she was college educated,
Yeah.
and then she was still below minimum wage.
So she was at this call center.
Okay.
So she was taking care of her father. Father had got sick. She was taking care of him. Bills started mounting up. So she kind of got behind.
Okay.
So what it was, she was working at this job. The guy liked her work ethic, brought her in, was going to give her a promotion and a raise. Everything could have been fine. He got sick. His son came in.
Cutting. We need to cut costs. Nope, you're not getting anything.
And that kind of blew everything up. She lost her job and started fighting, trying to protect. Lost her job trying to protect her co-workers.
Did you see that rolling of the eyes? I did.
That was his movie.
That was his movie? Okay. Which movie was it?
It's All or Nothing.
It's All or Nothing. Okay. Well, we believe in research here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We believe in research. During production, we believe in
So
research.
that's one. Then it's another one called Unrequited Love.
Oh, now what's that about?
So Unrequited Love is a drama about a husband and wife whose marriage was on the rocks. And they end up taking a trip to New Orleans. So yeah, we filmed in New Orleans too.
Okay.
Took a trip to New Orleans, rekindled their romance.
How did they rekindle?
Just spending time with each other, seeing each other, because he's a musician, singer, she's an attorney. So they was always kind of gone and never really had a chance to spend time with each other. And, job frustrations, career frustrations.
She was an attorney who worked for a firm. She didn't work for herself.
She worked for herself, but she was always at 36th district. She was just always busy.
Oh, so she was a court appointed?
No.
Assigned?
But she just always was taking on jobs.
So when you all did you ever film anything with her actually being in court?
No, not for this.
Did you consult with an attorney? This is my problem with a lot of these
Yes.
movies that
We did.
have, okay, good. Because it's like, wait a minute, that's not even procedure.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
we
that just
definitely-
makes me so angry.
I tend to, with me when it comes to writing, like people would always ask too, like, how can you write in so many different voices? One movie that we did, Bianca, right? People have been waiting on this movie to be released. And we released it 10 years ago. It came out. It was very powerful. It was so powerful, so emotional that people started talking about telling it for the first time how they had been molested as a child. They had never spoke about it. Children were telling their parents. It was like this movie, it was a game changer, but it never was released. We just did screenings of it. And people would always ask, how can you write in so many different voices? One of the blessings of working at Chrysler, again, that's why I'm so
Right.
grateful for Chrysler.
That's it. You meet so many different types of people.
So many different types of people.
And the diversity of it all.
People would always people would just talk to me.
Right.
Always open up and talk to me and tell me all kind of stories. And I was always listening about their lives and what happened and what caused. And I would ask, well, why would you do that? And they would tell me why they did certain things and why they thought they did certain things, why they thought their husband, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their mother, their father, why they did certain things. And it always stuck with me. Yeah. So I was always able to channel that and, tell this story. And writing, a lot of scripts, I can write scripts in like 13 hours. That's probably like
really?
the fastest.
You're talking about a full 90, I was going to say, what did I say, 90 pages?
Yeah.
Because I did study theater and okay, so I have a background in that as well.
Yeah.
That's why I'm listening to somebody who actually, I was at Loyola University in Chicago.
Oh, nice.
I graduated from Cass Technical High School.
What? CT?
What? What year? I was 87.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say that right now. I'll tell you.
You wasn't before me.
No.
You were after me.
I was after you.
Okay, I know I look good for my age.
You look amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I know it.
Me
So
too.
you ain't too shabby yourself.
Right.
I'm just saying I know this, but I work very hard at it.
Mm-hmm.
So now here it is, and this is just a light beat. This is not a full face or anything. Then I went to the University of Michigan, and I graduated from there in '91.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I was working for a couple of years, and then I went. The only way I could get out and do anything is I had to do it with my parents. In my mind, had to do it through education, and as a result, I enrolled in the Loyola University in Chicago, and I studied theater there. And it was one day, happened to be at 7:30 in the morning, and we were in the parking lot of Target. It was my father and my sister. They came up from Detroit to visit me, and I saw the director of the theater department. I forget his name. Bill, I forget his name. And I was so excited to see him. And I said, Bill, Eric, whatever his name was, I said, would you please tell my father it was not a mistake for me to come to Chicago, move to Chicago and study theater. And my father said, come on, let's go. And my sister was like, what are you going to do now? I said, I'm going to get a job. Why should I keep going in debt?
Right.
Okay. So from that point, and that was my end of my first year. I stayed another year, studied statistics, just took some classes. But the thing about it is I was in a play there, and I enjoyed it. I completely enjoyed it. Then I remember one man telling me, he said, you need to lose weight. And I wasn't losing weight. I said, no. And I'm talking about, I was smaller than I am now, okay? So I was smaller. Mm-hmm. I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm the size I am. And now to see, because back then that was like 94, 96, you either had to be funny, you need to be a singer, an instrument, or you had to be this stick figure, yada, yada. And I wasn't going to be no stick figure. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't particularly a great dancer. And I didn't have an instrument.
Now, speaking of stick figures, so crazy. Like, I remember meeting Lisa Ray. Right after she did Players Club. I couldn't believe how skinny she was. Skinny.
Even with the breast and all?
She was skinny.
Wow.
She had to be a zero at the time. And, and especially back then, because the cameras back then added those 10 pounds instantly. It's not as bad now because everything in 8K. So they seeing every pimple, every mark now. But back then, and I couldn't believe because on camera she didn't look that small. But in real life, she was a stick, and I was like, wow. She had a blue jean jacket that was hanging off of her. And I said, Jesus, like, what size is that? And she you know, she had her curves and stuff, but she was just stick. And I was like, I didn't think people could get that small, but you were right back then. They
That was it.
forcing you.
Right, that was it.
do
So
that.
I had to look. Don't get me wrong. I had to look, but I wasn't willing to do it. Now I've been able to take my theater experience and my acting experience and use that in my law practice. So I love a trial. I'm a trial attorney. I can woo.
People always told me I should have done that. Like, you should have been an attorney, like, because I done got out of some situations, baby. But, talking. I can talk good.
All right.
Talk really good.
Oh, that's what's up.
But yeah.
So so now you got these movies. So has it brought you I don't even know how to say this, because this is what I always tell people. God is my source and I live in abundance. And that what my abundance is different for anybody else. Are you living in abundance for whatever that is for you? And I'm not asking what it is for you.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I am.
That's all that matters.
I have to give thanks and praise every day, because I probably should have been living on the subway or me on the street downtown somewhere. Like, how am I still?
It wasn't gonna happen though.
Right. You know, like, God, I'm still going. I haven't had a job in forever. You know, like, how am I still able to do this?
And finance movies because producer means you putting money up.
Or finding the people with the money.
Okay, well, that's still a job, right? That's still work.
Yeah, because they got to believe in you and they have to trust you. Which goes to my latest movie that I have done called Fragile Bonds.
Okay.
This movie, I've always been fortunate to work with some great talent and people. And a lot of people, including in Detroit, a lot of the stalwarts that's been around was part of my tree. And a lot of people don't know that because, like I say, people get the spotlight and they don't remember where it started, how it started. But I've helped a lot of people here. So I've had a chance to work with a lot of people, giving them breaks, their first breaks. Like, a lot of people wasn't giving people opportunities to be camera guys, to be producers, to be sound. I would just say, hey, come on, let's go. I'll do it. Because I always knew in editing I could do enough to make it what it needed to be, or close enough.
We are almost demigods, and I'm going to just say it, because we are willing to give people opportunities and chances. Even when you don't believe in yourself, we see it in you, and we give you an opportunity. Like, here, try this, do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying it takes a gift to do that. I need to know, do you have any type of practice that you do every single day? Now, what does that mean? I'm going to give you an example. Every morning I wake up, I meditate, I roll over, I journal, I make up my bed, I exercise. Before I go to bed, I go ahead, I do another exercise, and I also meditate. And that's how I do it. Do you have anything that you do?
Yeah, I definitely meditate every day.
Okay. Meditation.
Yeah, I work out.
Too.
And I just appreciate. I just stop and just appreciate in moments, just being thankful again to be able to do what I do, and to be able to do it for so long, and it's more people now around that's had a lot of success, and people know them because they're doing like 10 movies a year, and they just got their machine and they rolling. But I've just been in a position to just be able to appreciate the gift and the time, and know that what I really want to happen is happening. And it's something happening right now, and now it's probably I'm probably where I'll be filming and all this stuff happening like right now by the time this airs.
I guess this is the Oscar show. I'm gonna have to edit that out. This is the Oscar show. So the Oscars will be, I think, March 5th, 2025. I looked that up and I sent everyone a text this year, and that's what it's nice to have a film person. Now, how do we get in touch with you? Because this is going to automatically stop. It's a great program, Beeb, at I don't know when it gets to 59.50.
All right. You can go to my website, randyhalloway.com.
Halloway.
HOLLOWAY. You guys,
I got you stumbling and mumbling.
rHalloway@randyhalloway.com. You can send me an email, but you can get in contact with me through my website. And yeah, a lot of fun. Fragile Bonds is a new movie. That was probably the first movie where I cried on set. The talent where I felt, because the talent, I told him on set during one of those scenes, the talent finally matched my level of writing.
Oh, wow.
Like, in the moment where I needed it to.
Oh, wow.
And it was tremendous. The talent in that film is something special. Ryan Nicholas, my partner, Ariel Lewis, partner in that film, really came together and made something special, something different now, especially something different around
Fragile Bonds.
Fragile Bonds.
Fragile Bonds.
Yep.
And it was filmed here in Detroit.
Filmed here in Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Detroit, Birmingham, Ferndale.
Oh my gosh, you are amazing.
Thank
you so much for coming
Thank you for
on,
having me.
for being here. This was so educational.
Yeah.
Protect the persistence.
Protect the persistence.
Yeah.
Protect the persistence. Yes.
Yeah.
She
you have
did
to be.
Then that's it. What did I tell you? We're looking at this was wonderful. Okay, now this is just kind of our outtakes. We can keep talking.
Oh, okay.
Because this is Yardbird.
Yard stream.
Okay,
Yard. Oh, yeah.
Stream Yardbird. I just see the
Okay.
duck and I just think Yardbird. And that's really what's that that he's got Yardbird. It's the Ethiopian he's an Ethiopian chef. I think he has restaurants he has different one is called Yardbird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I think about him. Yeah, Eric, his name that might be Eric. I'm not quite sure.
Not Balbo Fair.
No. This guy, he's national, and he is.
Sure.
He's been on. I think either. I don't remember. See, I don't watch TV. You know what I watch? I watch Tubi movies. I'm telling you, my brother lives behind. He lives the house. When you look out of his kitchen window, it's on. You see Fairway, and it is the house. I'm like, oh my god, that house was on Tubi. Fairway Drive. It's a Tubi house. What? What? We gotta wrap it up. I'm sitting here talking to the man now. This might be your stepdaddy. I'm just trying.
Hey,
That's what they say.
Who said just to wrap it up? Who is telling me what to do? Who?
That's what they say.
Who is the they?
That's what they say.
Who is the they? Yeah, me either. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Don't the person with the money say what? Ain't that how I go? That's how I understand it too. But okay, we had a wonderful show today. This is Randy Halloway.
And I'm with Protected P.
And I'm Deion Webster Cox with Protected P. This is a great show.
Thank you.
This is our Oscar episode. So I think the Oscars now are March 2nd, 2025.
7 to 10.
7 to 10. That's the show. Oh, wow. I'm so happy you came. I really am. Nice to
Thank you.
talk to you.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. Maybe you can promote me on some things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm getting ready to run something that's going to.
No, don't end it.
Why not?
Don't end it.
You can go ahead and end it. I mean, you said end it. If you're the boss, be the boss.